So, obviously tattoos have been around thousands of years, but interestingly, scientists have only recently begun to study how the tattoo ink interacts with our biology. This is kind of on the newer side of things. Scientists like Santiago Gonzalez, he is a toxicologist and immunologist at the University of Lugano in Switzerland.
Actually started by chance, so we were not primarily oriented on the tattoo.
Here's what happened. Santiago needed to label mice for an experiment they were doing about the immune system. The way they had been doing that was putting a tag on the mouse's ear, tagging their ears, which is very common.
Yeah.
But
I never like it because it's a bit heavy and the animals is a bit annoying for the animal.
so instead of tagging their ears, the scientists in his lab decided they were going to try tattooing the animals in order to mark them.
We basically have a tattoo machine which is exactly the same as the tattoo machine that is used by all the tattoo artists, and we just do it normally.
Is it teeny tiny?
It's very small, so obviously you have to be very, very careful.
So they're chugging along, tattooing their mice to do their next experiment, which all seemed to work fine. But then something unexpected happened.
My students told me, the lymph nodes of the animals are completely full with the ink of the tattoo.
Oh, gross.
And just as a reminder, lymph nodes are structures in the body that are part of the immune system. They filter out lymph, which is a fluid that comes from the blood. So Santiago's team was looking at one of the lymph nodes in the mouse's leg near its foot, which is what had been tattooed. And they found that it got stained with the tattoo ink.
Okay. That doesn't sound good.
It's not what they expected, and it kind of messed up that experiment.
Right. That's not what they were studying.
Right, it's not what they were studying. They were just using the tattoos to label the mice for another experiment. But after seeing this, they decided to do an experiment where they tattooed the mice and then watched where the ink went in a more controlled way.
Okay.
So we did all this again, and then took photos of the lymph nodes 2 months later. So let me show you.
Oh yeah, you can really see you can really see the ink in there.
It's bright, yeah. It's a few different colors of ink, and you can see when one mouse has a pretty bright blue lymph node. It's bulbous little goofy thing.
So how did that happen?
Well, okay, so your body has these white blood cells. They're called macrophages that go around gobbling up stuff that they think shouldn't be there. So this is typically bacteria, broken bits of cells. When you get a tattoo, macrophages in your skin, they go around and they slurp up some of that ink. And it turns out that they're also bringing that ink to the lymph nodes. And scientists have also seen this in people. We've had case studies documenting it, if someone with tattoos goes in to get their lymph node biopsied for whatever reason, pathologists will sometimes find ink in the lymph node. And Santiago's team also found this when they looked at lymph nodes from people, which led him to conclude,
When you are tattooing your skin, you are also tattooing your lymph nodes.
Okay, so we have tattooed lymph nodes, but does that actually equal some kind of a problem?
well, it's possible. I mean, if the lymph node is involved, that means the immune system is involved in some way. So Santiago's team also checked levels of immune markers in the mice's bodies to see if they were elevated. That would suggest that they were stressed out, basically. These are molecules that are part of the body's stress response to injuries or illness. And he did find that these molecules increased in both the lymph taken from the lymph node and in the mice's blood. But most of that activation went back to normal after a week or so from getting the tattoo, which makes sense. Of course you'd have a temporary inflammatory response to a bunch of needles in your skin. But there was one exception, a molecule associated with chronic inflammation. It's actually called alarmin.
Great. Yeah. What was the alarmin doing, Rose?
He was alarmed. It was raised even 2 months post-tattooing, which Santiago argues should have been past the initial healing phase of the tattoo.
Okay. So how worried should we be about that?
Well, Santiago's study was kind of exploratory. It showed some hints of some immune system mice. It wasn't looking at long-term issues in real people. So zooming out to other studies, we do start to see that this activation of the immune system